Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. As requested by Abu Bakr, this is a walkthrough on histograms from Maths Genie. Okay, so let's start off going through these questions. Okay, so the first question here, just zoom in, and the question over here is the table shows information about the ages of 80 teachers, and you've got a table here. Okay, so before we start off anything, just a quick reminder on how to find the frequency density for each of these from the previous videos on histograms. We have this little triangle with F standing for frequency, FD for frequency density, and CW for class width. Okay, just try and there we go. Okay, so in order to find the class width, so what I'm going to do is just have another table here. I'm just going to do this 30 take away 20, which is 10, and 35 take away 30, which is 5, 40 take away 35, 5 again, and we've got 50 take away 40, which is 10, and then 65 take away 50, which is 15. So that's going to be your class width. Just quickly complete that. Okay, and the last one, I'll work out the frequency density. So again, using my triangle, I want to find the frequency density, so I'll cover FD, and that's the frequency divided by the class width. So here this is 20 divided by 10, which is 2, 22 divided by 5, yep, just need to zoom in here. Okay, so 22 divided by 5, which is 4.4, going slightly off there. 16 divided by 5, which is 3.2. 13 divided by 10, 1.3, and then 9 divided by 15, it's the same as 3 divided by 5, I believe, which is 0.6. Right, so just quickly finish this table off. There we go. Let's extend those lines. Okay. Now what we have to do is choose the values for the axes. The y-axis is always going to be frequency density, and the x-axis is always going to be for your class width. In this over here, it's age in years. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, and I've got 20, and 65 is the largest one, so 65 minus 20 is 45. So you can go up in tens, but what I'm going to do is just have a little squiggle here, okay, and start off from 20, well, let's see, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Yep. So that's 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and we can have 70. That should... I don't know why the camera keeps going off. Well, here we go. So that's 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 over there. And over here, so the frequency density, my highest frequency density is 4.4. The lowest is 0.6. How many? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can go up in ones, really. Is that 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. Should really have done this in using a pencil, so yeah, I'm going to use a pencil to draw that. So the first rectangle for the histograms is from 20 to 30, so the width is going to be from 20 to 30, and the height is going to be 2. So I'm going to make sure that I just make a mark over there and there, so I know it's only 10 wide. Use a ruler, 20 to 30. There we go. That's the histogram done. Okay, not the histogram, sorry, the bar. So that's the first one done. Yep. This one's 30 to 35. So it's 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 over there. And its height is 4.4. So that's 4 over here, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4. So I've not gone all the way, I've just, here we go. The camera keeps coming off, so I need to keep redoing this. 4.4. Just there. Okay, and the next one, so that's the second one done. Third one is from 35 to 40. Oops. 35 to 40, and the frequency density is 3.2. So I've done this as well. So 3.2 is 3.1, 3.2 over here. done. 40 to 50, that's a gap of 10. 1.3, so 1.123. Okay, done that. The last one is 50 to 65. So 65 is around about there. 65 is around about there. And it's 0.6. So 0.1, 0.2. Camera's gone again. Get it back. So that's 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. And there we go. So that's the histogram for the first question. And we can move on to the second one. What I'm going to do, so this particular one, I won't do question number 2 because I've gone through question number 1 and it's pretty similar. I won't do question number 3, but I will do question number 4. And I could possibly do question number 7. Yeah, so 4 and 7, and then you can try the others yourself. Okay, so that at least there's some questions, and if you go to Maths Genie, the answers are there anyway. You know, if you have any difficulty with those, you can ask me and then I can do them later on, because I'm really pushed for time at the moment. So question number 4 again. So the table shows information about the time in seconds taken for some people to run a 100-meter race. Right, so over here I can see they've already started drawing a histogram. There's bits of information in the table, and there's bits missing, like that information there. And if you look at the histogram, this whole section is missing. So I'm going to start off with my triangle. Yeah, so just quickly, F, it stands for frequency on the top, frequency density and class width at the bottom. Okay, and then I'll just write class width and work the class width out for each one, and the frequency density. Okay, so this one is 12 minus 10, which is equal to 2. 13 minus 12, which is equal to 1. 14 minus 13, which is again conveniently 1. And 16 minus 14 is 2. And then 20 minus 16 is 4. Alright, so that's fine. And frequency density now. So frequency divided by class width here. Let me just quickly separate. And we've gone off again. This is a bit annoying every time the camera goes off. Okay, so frequency, which is 6, divided by class width is 3. Wow. Okay, here this one is 21 divided by 1 21, and then 23 divided by 1, which is 23. This we don't know, we have missing information. And this one is 8 divided by 4, which is 2. Now the frequency is represented by the area of these rectangles, or these bars. Yeah, so what we need to do is, in order to find out what scale they have used, we have to find a bar where we have the information on the table as well as the bar over here. So if you look from 16 to 20, we have the frequency, we have the class width, so 16 to 20, and that information has already been drawn for us. Okay, so the area over here is 8. Area of this rectangle is 8. The width over here is what? 4. So you do 8 divided by 4, which is 2, which we've done here already. So we know that 1, 2, 3, 4 of these is 2. 4 little squares. This height over here represents the frequency density, which is 2. Okay, so if I do 2 divided by 4 again, let's try again. Zoom in. 2 divided by 4, that is 0.5. So each little square, tiny one, is 0.5. So 10 of these, you do it in pencil. So if I make a mistake, I can rub it off. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, and that one will be 25. Okay, so let me recap quickly. So in order to find this scale over here, we need to find that bit on the table where we have the information for the information in the table for the bar, and we have the bar drawn as well. So that's 16 to 20. We have the frequency, we have the bar drawn, we've worked out the frequency density, which is 2. So that means the height is 2, and the area of this rectangle should be 8. The width, the class width is 4, because 20 minus 16 is 4. We know the frequency density is 2, so this little bit is, 4 squares up is 2. So I've done 2 divided by 4, which is 0.5. So each little square is 0.5. And then we've got 10 squares up. So 0.5 times 10 is 5. And another 10 squares up, that'll be another 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. Plus 5 is 15. Plus 5 is 20 and 25. That's how I got that. Alright. So the frequency density for this one over here, the first one is 10 to 12. That's the gap. 10 to 12. And it's 3. So 3 will be, that's 5. So that's 4 will be 2 squares down. And 3 will be 4 squares down. So they're just there. And camera's gone again. Come back. Zoom in. Okay, let me see again. So 5's there, and I've gone backwards. So two little squares, because each little square is 0.5, so 2 of them will be 1. So I'll go 4, 3. Found that. That one is done. The next one is 21. And what's the width? 12 to 13, so it's only halfway. So that would be 13, because it's halfway between 12 and 14. Next one is 23. This one's 21, that's 2 more. So 1, 2, that's 22, 3, 4, 23. Let me just go across. Okay, and then this one's done for us. Now we need to work out the frequency. As I told you, the frequency is the area of the rectangle, right? And if you were to find out frequency just from numerical values, you can go back to the table and you can cover F over there, and it's frequency density times class width, which still represents the area of the rectangle. We can see the frequency density. If I take my ruler and go across, I'll make a point. Camera's being annoying again, but okay. So I've gone across, whoops. I've gone across from the top here. I've not drawn a line, but over here, I've drawn a line over here to see exactly how far it's up. So that's 20.5, 21. So the height of this rectangle is 21 and its width is 2. So the frequency density for this particular rectangle is 21 and the class width is 2. So the frequency is frequency density times class width, which is 21 times 2, which is 42. Okay, so that rectangle represents 42 people, so I just write a 42 over there. Okay, and that's it. So that's this question solved. Let me zoom out so you can have a clear picture of that. And that's question number 4. And I will now jump to question number 7, which is the last question here. Okay, question number 6 is similar to question number 7. Okay, so let's read question number 7. It says, the histogram shows information about the heights of some plants. Okay, so that's the axis with the height. Remember, this is going to be your frequency density. Yep. Work out an estimate for the proportion of plants over 25 centimeter tall. There's absolutely no information given here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade this in. Well, not shade it in. I'm going to separate it. So at 25, I'm going to draw a line. Again, should have used a pencil. And I want an estimate for the proportion of plants which are over 25 centimeters tall. So it's this region here. This bit, and this bit. So what I need to do is find an estimate for this information. They have not given me any information about what the possible frequency density could be, but each one of these heights is going up in the same proportions. So what same amounts each time, you know. So here I've got how many? I just need to count the squares. It's not very clear. I think that's 10. Yeah, that is 10. So this is, so let's just go up 10 little squares, 20 little squares. I was writing 12 for some reason. This one's 30. That one's 40. This is not the frequency density. Okay, so at this moment in time, all I'm doing is I've counted how many squares they are. This is not my frequency density. That's 50 little squares, yeah? I'm just working out the proportion. So in order to find the proportion, what I need to do is I need to find the area of each one of these rectangles, okay? And then I do the area of these two over the total area and simplify it. So the area of this, the width of this rectangle is 10 and its height is 12, so this one is 12 times 10, 120 units. Okay, it doesn't represent 120 plants, but it's 120 units. Okay, now the area of this is what, 32 times, so this is 32 times 5, which is equal to, I can even multiply like this, 10, 15, 60, 160 units. Yeah, so I've got 120, 160. Okay, area of this is 44 times 5. So that's 220. Area of this, so I've split this one in half, so it's 12 times 5, which is 60, and this one's going to be 12 times 5 as well. This one, the area is 1, 2, 3, the height is 3 times 10, 20, which is 60 again. Okay, I'm gonna add this up. 0, 2, 8, 10, 16, 22, 28. Carry that up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 680. Let me double check. That's 0, 8, 10, 16, 22, 28, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's the total in terms of the number of units, 680. And what proportion is over 25 centimeters? 60 plus 60 is 120. So I've got 120 over 68. I can divide it by 10, which is 12 over 68. I can divide it by 2 again. 6 over 34 and divided by 2. 3 over 17. Okay, this one is a bit of a tricky question because you have to think outside the box. They have not given any information on frequencies, so it's impossible to find frequency density, but you can think of it in terms of the number of units. It's not asking you how many exactly, it's asking you as a proportion, and you can do that in this way. Okay, and then it says explain why your answer to part A is only an estimate. Okay, now for this, right, when you have information, so if you look at, so the first question, for example, if you look at this table, right, we know that this is of ages of teachers, right? So we know that there are 9 people who are above the age of 50, but they could be anywhere from above 50 to 65 years old, but not older than 65. So you could have 3 teachers who are 53, or you could have 7 teachers who are 54. You could have no one who's 55. You don't know exactly how many people are then exactly that age. In this case, if we see this bar over here, so from 20 to 30, we've had to split in half. We know that if we had a table over there, we would know exactly that certain number of people are represented by this bar. We don't know whether, certain number of plants are represented by this bar. Yeah. In this case, it's 120 units. We don't know the distribution of those 120 units. So some of those could be, like most of them could be in the top half, so from 20 to 23, and some of them could be in the bottom half. We don't know exactly where those values lie. So we cannot be sure of what those values are. So what I would say here is, since we have had to split bar, since we've had to split this bar, not since, I say we have had to split this bar in half, and we do not know how the plants are distributed across the what I'm trying to say here is, I don't know exactly how many plants were 21 centimeters, how many were 22, how many were 23, how many were 24, how many were 25, how many were 26, 27, 28, 29, or 30. Yeah, we know normally that how many plants are within that range, but we don't have the exact heights of those plants. Yep. So that's why our answer for these proportions, etc., is always going to be an estimate. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop now. Sorry for bits where the camera's gone off, etc. And I hope this helps. If you have any questions regarding this, please do let me know. I've only done 3 questions, has taken ages. So there's question, I've done question 1, question 2 is very similar. I've done question, no, I've not done question 3. Okay, I've done question 4, and I've done question 7. Question 2 has a part over here which says work out an estimate for the number of cars over 70 miles an hour. So when you do this, so at 70, again, we would it's like question 7. So here at 25 I split it up and shaded that extra region. So at 70 you would do that, and then you just find the areas of all the bars on the right. Okay, and then question what's the name? Ooh. Question number 3, find an estimate for the median. So to find the median, you would add all the frequencies up. 25, 9 plus 6 is 25, plus 125 is 50, plus 10 is 60. And it tells you 60, so I didn't need to add there. So we need to find where the 30th value is. So the 30th value is going to be from here. So over there, you would have to find an estimate. I could possibly do this particular question at another time, but I will have to go off today. So hopefully this helps, and if you've got any questions regarding this or any other topics, please let me know. Thank you. I will be doing a video on box plots as requested by Mohammed, and there was someone who requested something on surds, so I will be doing that shortly, hopefully soon. Thank you very much.